Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of Ask Coach Marie. I'm Marie O'Neill, founder of Padma Life Coaching and your host on this series. This is a place where you ask a question and I give my unique opinion as a life renewal coach, astrologer, and past life regression facilitator. Please know that I'm not a therapist and I will never tell you what you must do. Each week on Friday, a new video is released with me answering 2 questions from the viewers. In addition to those questions, I talk about various other life renewal topics. Before we get going with the questions for this week, here is an announcement I'd like to make. I will be in Niagara Falls, New York between September 4th and 8th with Kepler College. It's the Kepler College Symposium celebrating 25 years of being an astrology school. And what an accomplishment that is. It is the leading astrological school here in the US. This symposium is being hosted in person and also online. You can go to keplercollege.org to find out about the different talks that are available. Lori Barnes and I will be doing a masterclass helping people to create their About Me page and their bio. You can take this particular masterclass online, or if you're in New York or you're going to be in Niagara Falls, please come by and see us. All right, let's go ahead and get started with the questions for this week. Our first question comes from Gabriella, who is in San Antonio, Texas. Gabriella writes, I see my mother's anxiety and my grandmother's scarcity mindset living inside of me, especially around money and security. I want to break this cycle for myself and my children. Where do I even begin to untangle and heal these inherited generational patterns? That's a really good question. And I do appreciate you asking me this question. All of us inherit something from our ancestors. It's actually a good thing that you know about this particular inheritance. Some people inherit traits from ancestors that they've never known. For you, you know that this came from your grandmother and from your mother. To work through it is a wonderful thing because not only are you going to work through these issues for yourself, in Native American tradition, what I was taught is that when you heal an issue within yourself, you heal it for the 7 prior generations, and you also heal it for the future generations so that doesn't move on to the other generations. So it's important for you to heal these issues if you can. There's a couple of things that you can do. One is doing a meditation and asking your inner being to tell you where the root of the issue is. When we incarnate, we all have trauma. We all have issues that we've come in to work on. In a prior life, somewhere, one of your lifetimes, this issue was generated or created for whatever reason. You experienced something that caused the issue to be there. Now, fast forward to this incarnation. You are ready to work on the issue, and you were ready before you incarnated, and you decided that you wanted to work on this issue before you incarnated. Now, you had to choose parents, of course, that could reactivate this issue in you so that you could see it and work on it. If you want to heal something, you have to see it first, and then you have to take action. With your grandmother and your mother, they, of course, have this issue. They helped to bring it to the forefront for you, so now you can work through the issue. When I say you want to do a meditation and find out the root cause or the root where it began, the reason that I'm suggesting you do that is because if you can figure out where it started, you can then have a conversation with yourself from that particular lifetime. You would do it in a meditation where you would bring yourself from that particular lifetime forward and have a conversation about what the issue was and hopefully resolve it there. Because when you can see what caused it, you're going to be able to see it from where you are now and how much you've learned and how much you've grown. So you will be able to resolve the issue within yourself. That's one way to do it. Another way is to ask your guides to help you heal it, to help you, number one, recognize when the issue is up. If you recognize it when an instance of the issue surfaces, maybe you're having a conversation and you feel tweaked by the conversation where maybe you are feeling the issue of scarcity. You want to have an affirmation ready. You want to be able to tell yourself what it is you want, how you want to respond, and respond that way. The more you respond in an optimal way to an issue, meaning you're responding in the way you want to respond without the emotional, because with scarcity, with any type of issue that we have, a lot of times it's an emotional issue that we're having. And when you can respond differently, the more you respond differently, the more you can dissipate the issue. So hopefully that helps. Please send me an email and let me know how you're getting on with that, or write a comment below. All right, our topic for today is the ancestral echo, healing the past to liberate your future. As I was telling Gabriella, each of us has traits that we've inherited from our ancestors. And our ancestors may or may not be from this incarnation, the trauma or whatever it is we inherited. We tend to believe that our ancestors are just through the bloodline, and that's not true. Our ancestors happen to be anyone that we have been related to in any incarnation. Now, when you want to heal, you've got to, first of all, pay attention to what is coming up for you. What behaviors are you eliciting that you don't like? If there's a behavior that you don't like, you need to get to the root of it. And getting to the root of it means going into meditation. It means asking the higher mind. It means asking the universe, okay, where did this originate? Where did this come from? And you will be told. You will be told either in a vision, in a dream. Maybe you'll read a book and it'll resonate with you. You could be watching a TV show, as a matter of fact, and have it resonate with you. Maybe it's a TV show about a period movie that you're watching and it resonates with you. You'll be given all of these different clues to help you. You know, once you figured out the root cause, it's much easier to work with it. So much easier. Because as I was saying previously, you can have a conversation with yourself from that prior life, or even if it was somebody else who caused you a problem or caused the issue to be imprinted within you. You can have a conversation with them too. It always comes down to forgiveness though. And it could be forgiving yourself. It could be forgiving another person. But you do want to heal as much as you can of traits that you don't like about yourself or behaviors that are not in your highest and best good. Number one, that's going to help your consciousness to expand. It's going to help you to show up in the world differently. And because we're all light, because we're all energy, we're affecting everyone on the grid with our light. Just because someone is around the world and you think, oh my goodness, I have nothing to do with that person. They're not affecting me and I'm not affecting them. Not true. Because we're all interconnected. We're truly only one, but we're manifesting as many. So I hope that helps. All right, we are going to move on to the next question, which comes from David, who is in Phoenix, Arizona. David writes, my family has a pattern of avoiding conflict and never talking about deep emotional issues. This has made it hard for me to form truly intimate relationships. How can I become the cycle breaker and learn to communicate openly, even if it feels uncomfortable and foreign? That's a really good question. Thank you so much for bringing that question. There's a couple of things you can do. One, I would suggest, if you're open to it, getting a therapist so that you can work through the issues with a therapist, because it will help you to dig deep into the emotional triggers that you're having and the emotional issues, and they can help you resolve them. If you do not want to go to a therapist, you've got to start paying attention to your triggers. You know, when you're talking about not having an intimate relationship, look at all of the ways you block having an intimate relationship and come up with ways to get around that block. If you are going to have a conversation with someone and it's going to be a deep conversation, but you don't want to do it, maybe you want to write down what it is you need to say, but let the other person know. For example, if you are in a romantic relationship and you know that there's a topic that you really want to talk about, but you're afraid to do it because, you might be rejected or you might hurt the other person, sit down and write them a letter. Let them know that you are going to write them a letter. So you write them a letter, you let them read it. You set the ground rules though. And here's where we're going with this. You set the ground rules first, where you say, I've got an issue I want to talk to you about. It's hard for me to talk to you about it, so I'm going to write it down. When you read it, let's have a conversation. Ask me one question, promise to be open and talk to you about that one question. Or maybe you're going to be the one asking the other person a question. Do it that way. That's just an example of one way you can work with intimacy. Letting the other person know who you want to be intimate with, letting them know that you're having an issue. And hopefully you're with a person who is compassionate and wants to help you with this, but not control you with it. They want to help you by just supporting you. You are in the driver's seat though, not the other person. So you have to then tell the person how you want them to show up for you. And hopefully they're open to doing this. Think about what it is you need to do or you feel you need to do to have an intimate relationship, because this is about opening the heart and being vulnerable. And when you're opening your heart and you're vulnerable, you can get hurt, which you have to be okay with that. You can't have intimacy without an open heart, and you have to be vulnerable. And you have to make sure, though, that you're discerning with the person that you are wanting to be intimate with, so that you know that they can be trusted. That's the first thing. If you're with somebody you can trust, if you can go to a psychologist, or if you can write letters to start the conversation going, if you can be with someone who will be okay with you saying, hey, let's have this conversation, and they sit there quietly and wait until you say what it is you need to say, that's golden. If you can set the rules first with the other person, that's going to be a good thing. Setting the rules means letting them know, hey, this is how I need to communicate so that I can get it out. I need to be able to get this out. And in order to do that, I need you to not interrupt me or fill in the words, or sometimes you might need the person to not even be looking at you when you're talking. Whatever is going to make you feel comfortable in that conversation is what you ask for. All right, I hope that helps. please email me and let me know how you got on with that, and let me know, how you're doing. You can always comment below too. All right. We have come to the end of this episode. Please be sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. That really does help with the algorithms, helps get this video and all of the videos out to others. So many people watch videos and don't subscribe. And I have to tell you, I've been guilty of that too in the past. So please be sure to do that. If you would like to learn about the work that I do, please go to my website, padmalifecoaching.com. On there, I have information about life coaching, astrology, and past life regression. You can sign up for a session or just read the website to learn more about the different services that I offer. If you'd like to learn about me, please check out my book, And the Lotus Opened, a Memoir. This book is a roadmap on how I healed a lot of the trauma that I dealt with. And hopefully it inspires you and gives you information on how you can work through your own trauma. All right, if you'd like to send me a question, send it to padmacoach@icloud.com. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I will see you back here next week. Bye-bye.